Welcome to Culture on Tap. This is a podcast that bridges cultural gaps one conversation at a time. Today we have myself, Dale Young, my wife, Michelle Young. I don't know why I have to say your last name. We are married, so last name is the same. We also have Ranger Joe, Range Armitar. And then also with us today is my daughter, Charlie. I should have started with my son because he's older, but I already said my daughter, Charlie, and my son, Ethan. Yeah, ladies first. Ladies first. So
the favorite child.
If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share anywhere you listen or watch the podcast. Make sure to hit the bell so that you can get notifications whenever you have. So when we have new content, so you can tap in with us, and so that we can be a resource for you, whether to challenge you or to encourage you. I just want to reiterate that. We would love for you to find 5 new people, subscribe to our show so we can continue to grow. One of the reasons, just being transparent, that it took us 2 weeks to do these episodes is because we had to buy cameras, and this doesn't make money yet. So not cameras. We already had the cameras. We had to buy mics, and we had to wait because there is a limit to our finances. And if this made money, we could do that all the time. Not that we want to buy mics all the time. But so let's move forward with the episode. Today we have fun facts of the range. And since my 2 older children, and if you're asking why my younger daughter's on here, well, one, she's nonverbal, so it's kind of pointless to have her.
Be a short episode.
Yeah, and we have no idea how that would go if she was on here at all. So we're going to do fun facts of range, just my children. So tell us something that you have taught Range that he did not know.
So I will go first. I feel like I'm almost like a dictionary for Range. Just
Dictionary.
Yeah. Or no, is that where you learn stuff? No, that's where you look up words.
I mean, you do.
I mean, you learn.
But I'm just like an encyclopedia.
Oh.
Okay.
Just like full of knowledge and wisdom.
Wise.
Just call you Google.
Yeah, just call me Google. So I have teaching him a plethora.
Did you say teach it?
Taught him.
She's That's what she's teaching you.
English.
Well, actually, funny enough, what I want to share with y'all, what I have taught him is just some different words that he should. I feel like Range, if one thing, should broaden his vocabulary. And so I'm going to teach you some words.
Got it.
No, are you teaching him now, or you've already taught him?
No, she should know these.
Well, the question was things that you have taught him.
She did.
Yeah, I've taught him these.
Okay.
Just so you know, Queen, I'm not a she.
Oh.
So, going right in to the first one, Queen.
Yes.
Queen is a very endearing term. I actually refer to my father.
So we're clear, it's only endearing to you.
Yeah. Well, no. No. I refer to my father as Queenie Boo Boo. Yeah, he is Queenie Boo Boo. So just Queen. Do you know what Queen means?
So
tell me that.
Whenever you taught me what Queen means, meant.
Yeah.
We're talking about words, and they're just not our friends. So best I can remember, it's like, I don't know, champion.
Champion. No.
That's fair.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like it's in the ballpark.
Maybe like.
If I'm being honest, I don't know what it means. I just hate it when you call me that.
You love it. Don't lie.
But why do you call your dad that?
Because he's a Queenie Boo Boo. Okay, so also
That's the answer I get every time.
My dad's nickname for me is Princess Bocephus Butana.
Which I feel like that justifies you calling him Queenie Boo Boo. Absolutely.
If I'm a princess, he's a queen.
100%.
So
I'm out of the equation.
Nope.
So we're clear. The reason she got the name Bocephus Butana was because when she was little, I think I called her, I don't know what I called her, but I gave her a nickname and she didn't like it. She said, my nickname has to be Princess. And I said, fine. I said, you are Princess Bocephus Butana. And she hated it and cried a lot.
Which means you just call her that more.
Absolutely.
Well, so that's like a full name. So like, just to like, for an example, my name is Charlotte, but my nickname is Charlie. So the full name is Princess Bocephus Butana, but the nickname is just Bo. But then for him, full name is Queenie Boo Boo, but sometimes I'll just call him Boo Boo.
Boo boo.
Or Queen.
Or Queen.
Yeah, either way. Just
Either
shorten it up. Just take
But
words
then
out.
also, rolling right into the next one, Slay.
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 Yes.
Can you use slay in a sentence?
So we're gonna go with hey queen, you slay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You slay, not your slay.
Yeah.
No, you slay.
You slay.
Like, that is slay. Like, just something like amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that's slay.
Good.
Or like sometimes I'll like tell my parents, I'm like, that's just so slay for you. Just like slay and queen are just almost like a
But so
state,
I don't
just
understand
like
why we can't just say awesome.
No. Awesome is out. Have you heard of like the ins and
Why?
outs for 2024?
No.
So there's like
already the ins and outs. We're only in the first month.
I was about to say, how did we get anything out?
Yeah, we just.
so like things like out that like you don't want to like do that you did in 2023 but you don't want to do anymore. Those are out. Ins. So like not using the word amazing or awesome, like slay.
So we can't use the word awesome?
I mean you can, but it's just not.
I did hear that skinny jeans are out.
Oh, they're way out.
Oh, good.
Throw them in the
That's what
dumpster.
Good. I missed that tragedy.
My Nana was very offended that it took her so long to find a pair of skinny jeans, and I had to enlighten her that would be
But is
because
this for guys too, or just girls?
I mean guys should never wear skinny jeans.
Well,
That was geared straight towards you, pal.
Well, just so we're clear, my skinny jeans might not have meant to be skinny jeans. They're real skinny.
They turned skinny.
Yeah.
So she was very upset that it took her so long to find a pair of skinny jeans, and I had to tell her, Nana, that would be because skinny jeans are so out that they're just lost in the abyss.
Oh.
So she was very upset about that.
There you go.
So yours is slay.
Slay and queen.
Wait, sorry, both of those amazing words. Ethan, what you got?
I don't know. Sorry, hold on. Talking made me lose what I was going to say. Oh, so Pokemon. I've taught Mr. Range, I want to say a decent amount about Pokemon.
Oh.
I'm going to be willing to bet that he doesn't remember
Oh, I already know.
a single thing about Pokemon.
So isn't the yellow ball thing part of that?
The yellow
the
ball.
the yellow
And
ball?
he looks like a ball, doesn't he? The little.
Is it whistle?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he would
wait,
whistle.
a yellow ball?
The ball's
It
red
looks
and
like-
white.
Yeah, that's the Pokeball.
He comes out of it.
He's talking about Pikachu.
He's talking about Pikachu.
Pikachu's like a,
Pikachu's a rat, not a ball.
Looks like a ball to me.
He was a rat.
no, I thought
He's
it was a
supposed to be a
lightning
rat.
bolt.
He's not
Lightning
a
bolt.
either.
And nobody knows.
I thought he was.
I'm not the only one.
No, it's a rat.
We got a
Lightning
hamster,
bolt.
a lightning bolt,
He's an electric
a ball.
rat.
He's electric.
Yeah, electric rat.
With
Okay, so
with that.
can you give me 5 of the,
Five.
like
Five.
5?
I would say two.
Two.
2? No.
One. If he could name one Pokemon, period. I would
Besides
Whoa,
Pikachu.
whoa, whoa, y'all won't let me finish
be- he's
talking.
not going to get one.
No, I'm not talking about Pokemon.
Sorry.
Wow, no.
You're right. I said
I'm
sorry.
trying to get the boy waves down. Can you give me 3 types of Pokemon? Like, not like what the type. So, for example, one type would be electric. That does not count. You have to. A lot of them are elements.
Wind and fire.
Fire is one, yes.
Water.
That's one, yes. There's like one more. Come on, say one more. Come on, you need one more. Come on.
You're gonna earth?
No,
I thought that was
I
one.
thought that was
it's
one.
ground.
Oh,
I
Here's
feel
the
like-
thank you.
Yeah, because this.
Well, I'm like, how many more elements are there? I mean,
How many elements there are?
There's 4.
He was
Okay.
saying how many
I
more
was just
was.
know if he knew how many elements.
no,
I
well,
was talking about towards the end.
yeah.
Oh, I can name them all. There's Dragon, Fairy, Electric, Water, Fire, Ground, Grass, Rock, Steel, Psychic, Ice,
All
Fighting,
those aren't-
Normal.
No,
He's talking
winner.
about Pokemon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to say, when did dragon and fairy become?
But I
real?
thought you said that they were all elements.
I said some of them were elements.
Oh, so
Oh.
I was like dragon.
I
Is
was,
not
I was
an
about to say dragon. Like
element.
I might not have done very well in chemistry, but I would have remembered dragon.
Are not doable.
I would have remembered that.
So we're clear, by the way. You were wrong.
Oh.
Pikachu is a hybrid mouse rabbit.
Did you just look that up?
I did. I just googled
Well, I refer to him as a rat, so he's a rat. It don't matter. Mice are all rats to me. Rats are all rats.
it. Trust me, I've had a mouse on me, and I've had a rat on me, and they are vastly different.
Different.
Yeah, mouse can be like cutie.
Okay, so-
Rat cannot be
So I
cutie.
have one more question, Mr. Range. Can you name one other Pokemon other than Pikachu?
Oh no, I wouldn't have been able to name that one.
One of them's name is. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Okay, one of them's name is a real animal that swims.
Or one of them's name kind of sounds like mine.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's the only one I'd have been able.
Hurley?
That's your Uncle Chase called you.
Okay, so like the first part of my name, like what's the nickname that like people take from Charlie and say the first part?
Char.
Char. So it kind of
Oh, okay, I got it now.
Add it onto it.
Char.
Cole.
Charcoal. Charizard.
No, it's
Oh, there's Charmander, Charmeleon, and
Oh,
Charizard,
I was
Charizard
thinking of
X,
Charmander.
Charizard Y, Charizard.
Okay, we're way down that road.
yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
so
did you have one
no, we gotta get into the episode. We gotta get into the episode. We did fun facts. We went off the deep end on the fun facts. So let's talk today. We're going to talk about growing up in adoption. We wanted to do this with our children, and of course, me and Michelle are on here, but we're basically going to let them kind of do most of the talking today. So the first question we have for y'all is, how did you feel when you first heard that your parents have decided to walk through the adoption process?
So for me, whenever I was younger, like I was excited because how I saw was I was going to get a new sibling, which I was like, that's going to be cool. I'm going to have another younger kid than me. I was hoping it would be a boy. Obviously, he's not a boy, but I was hoping it would be a boy.
You're right. She is not a boy.
Yeah,
But you got blessed with 3 little Armantar boys.
exactly, yeah. But I was very excited as a kid because, as I said, I got someone new to play with, or that's how I thought about it. Is I was going to get someone new to play with and hang out with.
Okay.
I was very excited. If you don't know this about me, I am a kid person. I love kids. Yeah, I am like total, like my mom always used to say, like I'm little mama. Like I'm like taking care of all the kids. So I was very, very excited. I wanted it to be a girl. Yeah, I was just extremely excited for having a little sibling.
I think I remember. I'm not gonna say y'all were not excited. Y'all were very excited until it came.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Till it came to the point that they had to get TV tests.
Oh yes,
And then they both were like
Oh,
second
yeah.
guessing.
Oh, I
maybe we
remember.
It
go.
wasn't even second guessing. They were like, "We got to go give blood and TB test,"
Yeah.
and they were like, "No." And you turned around in the car and said, "Guys, if y'all don't do this, we can't adopt a child." And they're like, "We're good with that."
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Real
remember that because
quickly.
I remember when we went into the doctor's appointment to do this. I remember asking the nurse if she could put me to sleep. Be like, can you like knock me out?
So I don't do good with needles. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Things entering my body that shouldn't be there.
It's really funny
No.
because like the day we're filming this, I had like a big like needle procedure done, and so like I'm fine with like a lot better with needles now, and like thinking of doing that, which is just like a little like boop, I'm like do that a million times over compared to what I do now. So I do remember getting the TV test, but I also remember like I was the baby, like in my family we got Ryan when I was like 9. So for a long time, and so I feel like that was a little hard for me, but then once I kind of got over it pretty quickly.
Awesome. So next question, Ari, was there anything you wanted to add to that?
No.
Next question is, how did you feel the first time you saw your soon-to-be little sister?
What's it called? So again, I don't have very good memory, but going back into how younger me was, I was probably when I first saw her. Y'all probably told me that she wasn't white. I do this.
I probably threw that in there.
Okay, no, so I'm thinking back to whenever y'all showed me a picture. Okay, stop laughing at me.
I'm sure it came up.
Yeah, no, because
Just like walk into the hospital room. Oh crap! What happened?
I mean,
That is so funny. Go ahead, son.
no, I don't want to talk no more. Y'all make fun of me.
You just said, I'm sure at some point y'all told me she wasn't white. I mean, we knew that she wasn't white before we even met her.
Yeah,
All of us.
Not me. I'm the last one to know. Here's the thing. We could be moving to a different country. I cannot know to the day before.
But is that our fault or your fault?
50-50.
No.
Okay, pause. Back to the question.
So
Yes.
So, what was your first thoughts the first time you saw her, other than, oh man, she's not white?
I'm speaking more of because
like when we walked into
So
the
I-
hospital
she
room.
was in the hospital. for
Lots of
months
tubes.
with tubes, and she was small, and all those things.
So, as I'm sure my sister would say, it's very different than me. I was very excited. I was really cool because the first time I had to see in the hospital, my dad said she had all these tubes, and beforehand they would have to be like, if this happens, do this.
Yeah, because y'all met with like a nurse.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm a very oblivious person. They said that I wasn't listening. Something could have happened. I wouldn't know what to do. I probably wouldn't even realize.
I can assure you that they were not relying on you remembering.
Yeah,
what to do.
at that time I had a memory of goldfish. So when we were done that, I was just ready to get in there and hold my soon-to-be baby sister.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was definitely fun. I really liked it.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
You're good.
Yeah, you got it.
You're good.
Complete opposite of him. I was completely terrified. I mean, I was excited to meet my little sister, but I was just like completely terrified just to like see like a little baby. She was so tiny and just like you couldn't even like see her face. Just like the oxygen tubes, the feeding tubes, like everything all over her. It was just like completely scary to me. And I remember I was even more scared when they brought us into the room and like taught us how to hold her. Okay, if this goes off, this is what needs to do. If this, if this happens, you need to call 911. Like all these things, like, not that we would ever be left alone with Ryan at that age with all the stuff going on with her. But if like something had happened, all these different things. So I was completely terrified. But I mean, obviously excited to see her, but yeah.
Awesome. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that. I know for me it was different because we'd already seen her more than probably 10 times or something like that because we were seeing her twice a day. And I want to say they didn't get to see her till like right before we brought her home.
Yeah,
Yeah. We didn't see her like until like the end of the summer, and y'all were with her the whole summer.
Yeah.
No, she was
No.
no. I think that they didn't get to come up until I want to say like 3 weeks. So maybe just like that last week they came up 2 different times.
But at that point, we literally
She had already moved down a stage in the NICU. So yeah.
Yeah, so we'd been seeing her for a while, so it was very awesome for us. But it was also kind of weird because it was something brand new to them. But we had already made this connection to her. So the next question is this: what parts of being in a family that believes in adoption has been hard?
Oh, so I was waiting for Keon to go back on.
You just talk. Range will take care of that.
Okay, sorry. Honestly, whenever I was younger, I don't. So, only remember I can really being.
It doesn't have to just be younger. It can be now too.
Yeah,
All of it.
now I
Because so let me add this because it's not just for y'all a family that's involved in adoption. It's a family that's involved in adoption with a special needs.
You're right. So one thing is like a good example is this weekend. Well, not this weekend when this comes out, but
The current weekend.
last weekend. Yes, last weekend. I'm gonna have to watch my baby sister the whole weekend basically because both my parents are going. Which I'm not mad. Like
Yeah, but how is that different than if I had given birth to her? We're talking about specifically for adoption,
Yeah,
not necessarily just
Okay.
having younger siblings.
yeah. Like if mom would just had a third child, you'd still be watching that child while we go do what we're doing.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure, you go first.
So I think definitely like a big part of that is also like not only did we adopt a kid with special needs, we adopted a kid with special needs that doesn't look like us. So it like basically like all of like just the fear is like, she's adopted, she doesn't look like us, she's special needs, she's different. So I was very nervous when I was young. I remember sitting in the hospital with my mom one time with Ryan, and her asking me, just like different questions, because at this time we didn't know that she was special needs, and she was asking me like, okay, what are you gonna do if this happens? Like, what are you gonna do if people picks on her because she doesn't look like her family, like doesn't look like her mom and dad? And I was like, I'm just gonna cry. And like I just remember, I also remember this one other time where when I was in elementary school, we would like decorate the front of our notebooks with like different pictures and stuff. And I had this picture of Ryan on my notebook, and somebody said, "Is that your sister?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they said, "Oh, she's black." And I just remember coming home crying. They said my sister's black. And I remember like my mom was like, "She is." Like it's okay. She is. So I was.
I think, yes, that moment was not insensitive, but I also think that y'all did walk through people that
Yeah.
you thought not they didn't care about you have issue with having us adopt a black child, which made it very hard for y'all.
Yes. Yeah, so definitely like just like the looks, or even like people that don't want contact with us anymore. Different like things that people say, not even if they don't realize that like it's rude, but just like sometimes people say something and maybe it's just out of like ignorance, they don't realize it, but like that like hurts people, like your words hurt. And so yeah, I just think that definitely was a hard part.
So let me ask this question because you brought it up. Did y'all notice, and did y'all notice when people would stare at our table, or did y'all only realize it if me and mom said something about it?
Oh, I noticed 100%.
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Only reason I know people say is because y'all tell me. I don't like y'all. We could have been at the table. Y'all could have been like, "Oh, people are looking at us because of Ryan." I would have still not noticed, even if y'all said that, just because I don't pay attention. Like, I've never noticed it.
100%. I was just going back to your previous question. I remember this one time. This is like burned into my mind. I was in elementary school. I was playing on like the monkey bars, and somebody had said to me, like just trying to like pick on me or whatever, was like, the only reason that she's your sister is because you bought her. And I just remember like that breaking my heart. Just like different things that like people say. I mean, obviously there's people that say things to be mean, but yeah, I feel like it definitely was like a struggle. But I feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop there because I'll say more about that later.
Okay.
So
what about you?
Okay, reset the question. Sorry.
Was there anything that you felt was hard growing up in a family that adopted?
So I'm not like thinking about honestly, I would say probably no. Like there's probably times where like it wasn't the easiest, but I would never say hard. Like even when I was younger, like even now, like I don't think so. Even though like I have lost contact to some, well, we have lost contact to some family because we adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Was about like even then what?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say even then though, like I don't feel like it was really that hard. Like
What about like how has adoption made the gospel more real in your life?
So I would say if you look at Ryan, who is my sister that's adopted, like so whenever she was young, she wasn't supposed to like live because of like all the stuff she had. So just seeing her like as she got older like grow and like be able to conquer that, I would say is like a good example of that.
so I feel like
Just seeing the power of Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like my mom, a lot of like different classes that she does and stuff, she always talks about that the gospel is an adoption story. Like we are all adopted into like the family of God. And so just like seeing that as like a tangible thing in like my home, I feel like has definitely made the gospel more real for me.
Because yes, we have adopted, but it's really more than just adoption. Like, we believe in caring for the orphan.
Mhm.
So, like, maybe talk about, or if there is anything to talk about, how that's looked or been hard for you having different foster kids
Well,
in our home, out of our home, whatever.
I'll go first if you
Okay.
want me to. So having foster kids coming into our home really sucked for me when I was younger because I get attached very easily. I may not know your name, but I'll get attached to you very easily. Give it about like a month or
Everybody's
two.
name's Bud.
Everybody's good.
Give me about a month or two. We make our name. I make your name after a month or two, maybe 3. You know, it's a work in progress. I'm working on it. You know, what's it called? But yeah, so whenever we get foster kids, and like especially like whenever we did whenever we didn't get to adopt them, it really sucked because like I would really like because we have this baby in the house, and this thing I love kids like my sister. I love babies too. They're my favorite. They're the best because at that time they can't say anything, so they can't so I don't have to explain things. It's just really simple. Like if I could
Just
like,
hold the baby and it's all happy.
It's very
I'll find
simple.
a
It's very
dandy.
simple. Hold the baby. Nothing else to it. Yeah, but like it really sucked whenever like we would have like kids come to our house. I would hope we'd be able to adopt, and then we don't get to, and they get given to another family.
I would say the same. I get super attached, and I feel like it's a almost kind of like a blessing and a curse kind of thing because like once you get attached, like I know that like that child that was in our home felt loved by me because I was like completely all in, but then like it's also like then like for me it's just like this emotional like having to give up this child and like all that kind of stuff, but I can like rest easy on the fact that like I know that I loved that child with everything in me. So
So
Good.
this wasn't one of the questions. I do this sometimes, and feel free to be honest. You will not get in trouble when the camera goes off. But my question would just an additional question that is there anything that you feel like we did not prepare you for in adopting a child or special needs child, any of that above?
You can go first.
Didn't prepare us for.
Or
I
you
don't-
just maybe didn't talk to y'all about.
If
I
you
just-
wish you would have known going
I don't
into
think y'all did it, but I also it's hard for me to say because I felt like I was 9, and so I was kind of at that state where like I was
You were
old
younger
enough-
than 9, by the way.
What?
You're much younger than
because I was
9,
8.
but go ahead.
15. Yeah.
Ryan's 9.
Okay, well then I was like 7.
Ryan's not 9. He's
Ryan's 7.
Oh.
So was I 7
Yes,
ish?
you were 7.
Okay, so I was at that state where like I knew what was going on, but like I couldn't like process all of these big things because I feel like adoption is a big thing. And so like I couldn't process like what that meant, and so not that y'all didn't prepare me for it, but I just felt like I didn't process that. And so as far as like being in the hospital, Ryan had a lot of health issues when she was born. She was born very, very premature. And so that was like extremely tough on me, like her being in and out of the hospital for a time. And so not that y'all didn't prepare me for that, but I felt like I just wasn't. I was so young, I couldn't process it. And so I felt like when it happened, it almost like slapped me in the face.
So I would say, only thing that I would say y'all didn't prepare me for when I was younger, and to be fair, y'all couldn't prepare me for this, was to have a special needs sibling. But
I
that's
mean,
just
that's
because we
We
didn't
didn't
know
know.
special
Yeah.
needs. But other than that, I feel like I was prepared.
As prepared as you could have been.
As prepared as I could have been for a special needs child that I didn't know that we were going to have.
So the next question would be, what part of being in a family that believes in adoption has been a blessing to you?
So, I would say 100%, like perspective. I feel like I have a lot of perspective on a lot of different like situations with like children. And so like I've gone through like adoption, having like children that are like in our home that have been foster that we haven't adopted, adopting kids, dealing with special needs children, or I guess children. There's multiple. Um, but so I feel like definitely perspective has been a huge blessing. I feel like it definitely. I feel like I definitely like grew up at a very young age. Just because we didn't know Ryan was going to be special needs, and a special needs child is a lot. And not that my parents forced me to, but I definitely felt like it was my responsibility to be there for my sister. So I feel like I definitely grew up at a young age, and so I feel like now that's kind of more of a blessing because I feel like I'm very mature. But yeah, I definitely feel like perspective is a huge blessing that has come out of this.
I would say for me, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I'm not good with words, you know.
You're doing
What-
good, Mud.
I know I'm doing good. Like thank you, but I know this. But I would say probably. Well, I mean, the kind of piggyback off my sister a little bit, where how she said like where I got the experience to have like to adopt and foster and stuff like that. Where like now, whenever I get older, like it's kind of like since I saw like I did this as a kid, where now it's kind of changed how I view myself when I get older to now I want to adopt myself. In case y'all wondering, I want 12 kids. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
But even to, are you done? Sorry, I was just gonna add on to what you said.
Oh, I wasn't.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, that's fine. You're good. You're good. I forgot what I was gonna
But
say.
even just like when we cross paths with different people, like we are very close to a lot of the people that are in youth reach that sometimes have gone through the same stuff, either if they're adopted or have been through foster care, different things like that, so that we can kind of like understand what like a little bit, because obviously we didn't go through being adopted and being in foster care, but we have been on the opposite end of that. Just also like kind of seeing what that
No, I
like
think
is a
that's
little bit.
good point. Like, because not only do we have an adopted child, and you walk through foster that we haven't been able to adopt, but almost all of our friends have. The majority of the kids in your life are adopted. And then I would say the majority of your friends are adopted. You have some that aren't, but I would say the majority.
But even the ones that haven't, I would say a good portion of those have been through
Yes.
the foster system or some sort of.
So I feel like definitely adoption and foster care, and even like special needs, because obviously Ryan, our little sister, is special needs, but then also Eric and Meredith's daughter Sophia has special needs, and so just like all of those things, like it's very common for us, and so I feel like also another blessing that's just hit my head is I kind of talked a little bit about earlier that like I was kind of younger when we went through adoption with Ryan, but I was I'm trying to think how old I was when Jet got adopted. I was like 12. And so I was definitely old enough to process those things. So going through like the adoption process with the Armentar boys, I was definitely a lot older to like process that. So like going through and like seeing like, oh, I didn't realize that these things were going on when we adopted Ryan. And so I feel like that has kind of been like a blessing.
Good.
Yeah.
So I just want to piggyback on that. So like I was gonna ask after the last one and then I didn't, but since you just brought it up, do you think that like talking about things that were hard or even the blessings part of it, having a close circle of families that either have adopted or work with adopted kids has been easier for y'all to walk through it because you know like you're not alone, you're not the only one going through it?
You can go first.
So I would say it probably has helped, but I feel like also for me, like even though I can obviously, like, for example, if you look around, you can tell she's obviously adopted. I don't see as like what's it called? Like, cause it's kind of like
you won't treat her differently.
Yeah, like, she's not gonna be treated differently, obviously, but like how I see is like it doesn't make a difference to me if they're adopted or not. Like I feel at that point it doesn't matter; they're still part of my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, would it be fair to say that because of the life that we live and the people we live them around, and even me working at Youth Reach and Xavier running Youth Reach and all those things, that adoption is a very normal.
Yeah, it's a very normal
Like,
conversation
it's not an
in our
awkward
house.
conversation
No,
ever. Like it's just,
Definitely not something shameful or something we
No.
don't
yeah,
talk
like,
about.
It's just something very.
it's very normal, like a normal dinner
Yeah.
table conversation for us. But I feel like sorry,
Oh, that just went by.
I feel like I just had a huge mind blank. With the Armantar boys, I feel like going through that, it has made it. I feel like it almost made us like a lot closer, even. And I feel like I'm not. I don't know if I would have been less close with their kids, but I'm extremely close with their kids, and I feel like just because like I'm like I remember like what this felt like when y'all were so little, y'all didn't even know what was going on, and so it's just like it's been a huge blessing to go through that.
Cool.
Yeah.
The last question. This one might be hard to answer. If you could go back in time, is there something you would have told your younger self that you've learned through being a sibling of an adopted child, to like your older self to younger self? Like, is there something you would tell them now?
So probably I would say that like the fears that I have are like the fears that you have are valid. Like those are, real things. And like, some of those things like will happen. Like you will get, snarky comments made towards you and things like that. But the good outweighs the bad 100%. Like the good memories, the amazing conversations I've had with people, the people that I've gotten to meet and talk to about like either their adoption stories or going through adoption or different things, like that 100% pales in comparison to like all of the bad stuff or bad comments, bad conversations, things that have happened. And so I feel like it's definitely like, even though those fears are there and, there's, it's not going to be sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns all the time. Like there will be good things and there will be amazing experiences and things that you get to do through adoption.
I honestly don't know if I want to say to my younger self. Probably because younger self me wouldn't listen. But so I would say probably one of the biggest things where you probably I would say probably just like what's it called? In the woods here. Like to be more patient, I guess, because there's a lot of times I feel like I'm not patient. Because before I had Ryan, I had Charlie was my youngest sister. Even though she was like a year younger than me, so like basically whenever it comes to like common knowledge and intelligence,
We were like twins.
yeah, we basically had this like even our Nora, we basically I would honestly say she's probably smaller than me.
Thank you.
But so with that, like with Ryan being so young, a lot of times like I just feel like I would just to remind myself that she doesn't know what we know, but not to mention also that she's special needs, which also just makes it just makes it where like a lot of things that I feel like should be common sense, like not now obviously, but whenever I was younger,
Like you get frustrated.
with it.
yeah.
Well, you said you were saving something for later. I don't know if that's later. Like you lost it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I lost it. That's way gone.
Well, anything else you want to add?
So I actually do have something to add, and I feel like I don't know. So I feel like sometimes people are afraid to ask questions about like when people are adopted, like or go through adoption, like what's that story? And at least the people in my life, like that's an amazing experience for us. Like we want to talk about that. Like we want to tell you, the stories with Drake and Ryder and Jet and Ryan and Sophia and like all of these things. Like we want to talk about that. That's a huge blessing in our life. That's like, so amazing, and we like love to talk about this. So like definitely like don't be afraid to ask people about like their adoption stories.
That's good.
Anything, babe?
No, I think that's good.
Awesome. Well, this was an amazing episode. I thought the kids did well. And we're so glad you tapped in with us. This is Culture on Tap, and we will see you guys again next week.